It is the start of tax prep season, which nobody wants to hear, do they? But as you do gather your documents and information, here's a thought for you. Are you skipping the most important step?
Knowing which kind of tax preparer to use could save you a whole lot of headache and plenty of money, too. Consumer reporter Steve Noviello is live in Dallas to explain this morning. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning to you guys. You know, not everybody, of course, is going to use a tax prep service. Some of you will just go online and fill out the forms yourself. But if you do, it's important to make sure that you're matched up with the right person. An EA, or an enrolled agent, for example, is a specially credentialed tax professional who can really handle more complex tax issues, similar to a CPA or a certified public accountant, who not only can handle tax issues that may be more complex, but also will be very abreast of kind of the new tax laws and exactly what's going on. Now, most people, the vast majority of you, are going to use what's called a non-credentialed tax preparer. There's more than 700,000 of them each year working in the United States. These are those kind of seasonal folks who only work during tax season. They're perfectly qualified to do what they do, but it's important to understand if their particular depth of knowledge is appropriate for how complex your tax situation may be.
So what are some other things that's really important for us all to understand as we make that choice?
So a couple of them, I kind of want you to understand how far each of these different people can take you. For example, an EA, a CPA, a tax attorney, they can do the tax prep work, and then if there's an audit or there's an issue, they can also then represent you directly in front of the IRS. A seasonal tax worker can't do that. The other thing that I want you to understand up front is exactly what fees look like. What is the structure? Is there a separate filing fee? Is there a separate, or is it part of the prep fee? You know, is there a additional fee if, you know, let's say, God forbid, there's an issue with your return and something needs to be, you know, amended? Is that part of the full package, or will you have to pay again?
So what is you would say, the tipping point when it comes to deciding who should be working for you, the biggest determining factor?
Sure. So there's actually going to be two things that I want people to look out for. If you take nothing else from this segment, please take this. Watch out for the spectacular promises on the front end. Every year this happens. Somebody comes to me and they say, oh my gosh, I got my taxes done. Turns out it just was a nightmare, but they promised me a free Apple Watch on the front end. And then, oh, by the way, it turns out the value of that watch is going to be deducted from my refund. Or they said I could get my money back even earlier. Turns out that was a refund anticipation loan and I had to pay a fee and then interest on that money, right? You know, so you want to make sure that you understand exactly what you're getting into. The second thing, and probably even more important, is I want you to play long ball here, right? It's particularly with these seasonal tax workers that most people are going to use. Great that they can do their work, and then April 15th comes around and you think everything's okay. Well, now it's July and suddenly you have an issue and you go back to the tax office. Now it's a Spirit Halloween store. Can you find this person months after tax season is over? So I want you to, in the moment when they're sitting across the table from you, get kind of their off-season contact information and the off-season contact information for the company that is running this tax office to make sure that if you have any problem, you've got the correct tax preparer to follow up with.
Steve, I tell you what, it could save you a lot of heartache, so thank you for the tips.
You got it.